actually just yeah, exactly. You can see that most of the shorts are the main majority where people are finding us. You can see here the rest of them are the shorts. So it's also good with like as I said, I tell the team Faith, the titles are very important. So how weightlifting, how, why, how, what people are Googling. Um, let's go back. Okay, so 9,000. So this is a big stat I look for in YouTube. It's one of the most important statistics ever as a YouTuber, as a creator, is did you have a question or want to say something?
Oh, no, no, all good.
Uh, the watch time hours. This is probably your most important statistic. So what this tells YouTube, so it's in green and it's hiking through the roof, 148.5 hours. So people have spent over 148 hours consuming your content. So when you're sleeping or when wherever you've had hours, 100, they say it usually takes 7 hours from someone to buy from you. Um, 148 hours already you've had watch hours. So that means YouTube is going to keep sharing your content because YouTube makes money by this actually big stat here. That's how they make their money because the more people are watching their videos, the more money they make because they can serve more advertisements um, and 25 subscribers. So 150 more than previous days. So obviously this quarter, these past 3 months, 90 days with your old content, with the podcast content, with the shorts, we've been able to generate over 9,000 views in the 28 days, 148 watch time hours, subscribers. So that means what's worked well is we're capturing attention and we're consistent in the content. So that's worked really, really, really well. Where can we
Yeah.
improve? So yeah, 25 subscribers, this is what we want. Now, let's break down in those last 90 days, where are these people finding us? It says shorts here 1.2K and videos here 2.2. That's actually pretty good. So in my channel, for example, I have hundreds of thousands of views because most people will find me through the shorts, but it's less
Yep.
on videos. So my goal or the goal is always to kind of you want this high too because those are YouTube can pay us later. We can get sponsorships, brand deals. Like both of these, don't get me wrong, but this is a good thing to have where your videos, the long form videos, people are tuned in. Um, Returning viewers last 90 days, this is very good. So they're returning over 207 coming from the videos, from the shorts. Subscribers are more coming from your long form. So this is very good. You want more people coming in from your long form than from the short form because the long form is what really builds the community. Short form is we use them just to get who we are. At least we get that awareness and we can convert them into the long form. But
Yeah, which is where the value is.
exactly.
Real value. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
yeah, the
Yep.
biggest goal is to get them to here. Again, we
Okay.
love the shorts views, that's fantastic. But the fact that you have this is very good because you have more of an engaged community. Again, on my channel, because of my shorts, their shorts can reach 1 million views, da da da, but it's harder to get them on the long form. So some shorts match some long form. If it's business content and the short form doesn't relate, they're just gonna watch the short form, move over. So that's very good. Um, so this is very good for us. This data is amazing. Again, let's break it down further. So these are the podcast videos, your vlogs. So we can see. So you say key moments for audience retention. These are our top, like how long are the audience staying on your videos? Now it usually says people stop watching from the first 30 seconds. So the fact that it says 60% are still watching past 30 seconds, they said this episode
Yeah,
Ian Thompson did
it's good.
well. Mhm. That's how you know the attention span is very short. If it's saying, so all of these videos, it tells YouTube these did well. And that's the powerful thing about YouTube. These videos 10 years from now will still be playing and playing, and it could be generating you money in the back because people are still watching them, right? This is an episode with Thompson we recorded how long ago? It was 2, 3 months ago. But it's one of your videos still now, people are still consuming. That's why this is so powerful. And we have these
Yep.
assets. So you can see we did well with this Cameron episode. This Ian Thompson episode. You saw your other videos here. Um, Top videos. This one here. Ian Thompson still your top video. So keep doing your vlogs as you're doing.
Yep.
Very
I'm
important.
actually getting so many more emails now from people reaching out asking like they can help me with SEO and anything like that. Like it's multiple daily now I'm getting, which is crazy. And
Yeah.
on Instagram as well, LinkedIn. It's a
Yeah.
bit annoying, but it's doing something.
Yeah, I get it as well. It's so annoying. And I get videos with some low views and then they'll comment your videos, da, 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 and it's just like
Yeah.
that's what comes with it. Then you'll get other emails. You get either most from fake sponsorships. Be careful. I've gotten those. I get excited. I'm like, oh, it's a brand, but it's like a scam. So because yeah,
Okay.
you're out there, you'll get a lot of that. Um, this is very important how viewers are finding your videos. So browse features, which is good. This is the traffic from homepage, the subscription feed. So this is where our thumbnails come in handy. If we have dope thumbnails and they're on the browse features on the homepage, they'll see our video.
Mm.
And so look at 29% is coming from just the browse features around YouTube, your subscribers, YouTube search. So people are searching specifically for you or search terms used by your viewers. So either for you or search terms in those words, how to do this, how to do this, which is again, it's a search engine. We can find people, suggested videos, director unknown. Um, cool. Break it down quickly. Where's your audience coming from? Um, yeah, audience 190 returning viewers, not subscribed. This is kind of how, okay, we know 88% are not subscribed and they're watching the video. So we can call them to subscribe. Majority male, 100% um, from these
That's
ages.
interesting.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Be more male listening, but I didn't didn't even think it'd be none in that. And in terms of the age group, yeah, that makes sense too. I like that.
Mhm. Let's break it down even further. So the long form videos, which is very important from 18 to 24 to 25, 30 in the podcast, in the YouTube videos, you're getting 51%. So 18 to 24 is a huge demographic of yours. So now even in some of your content, in your mindset, oh, okay, I have a lot of people from 18 to 24 who are watching my content, who are watching my videos. 25 to 34, my age, those people. The older ones, not as much, and not below that. Um, so yeah, clearly here's your biggest audience here in your video shorts. You can
Mm,
still obviously target female, doesn't matter, but just so you know, that's a very important stat. So are those the people you're bringing into your newsletter? Are those people you can bring in into your business? Yeah, again, okay, is the newsletter our biggest call to action from the podcast? What's the next action they can take? If we now know these stats, if you're writing newsletter, this is powerful. So this is your audience. Um, so even now, which I want to talk about later on, sponsors and stuff like this, you can say this is who our audience is. So any products, things, those people have, this is what we tell them, and they're targeting that audience. Um,
yeah.
you have UK, Nigeria, and United States are your biggest audience. Let's break it down further. United Kingdom are watching the long form. So those are the friends of the people you have on the show, which is great. You get all these people on your show, they bring their friends from the UK. And then you've got a lot of
Mm,
people from America who are watching India 2.1, Australia lower. Shorts, we can see Nigeria, United K, US. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on a kind of where you are at now. Did you have any comments or anything you want to add on that?
no, I think that's pretty good. I suppose YouTube will have probably the higher statistics than say Spotify, just because it's got more content on there. Um, but yeah, no, in terms of the statistics, I'm happy with that.
Cool. All right. So now let's go on brainstorming on options for monetizing. So, okay, we know what's working well is we're pumping out content and we're consistent. That's one thing we know. Well, you're getting good guests. One thing we know people are liking the videos. That's another thing we know. Our goal, like you could see with the last trailer, I was talking to a little bit of Tyrone, is just adding some of the sound effects in the back. Like I kind of looked at the first one and then I was like no, and so I think that if we keep producing that type of high level production, the trailer's got to be like a
Mm,
movie. Even now the podcast episode, throughout the episode, it's got to be engaging and entertaining. Like I'm thinking our evolvement now is to go as a product is to make our podcast episodes like a movie. From the trailer's a movie, the trailer's like, oh shit, grabs you. And then even during the podcast episode, it's still engaging somewhat. So through the stories, there's the images coming through, just keeping it engaging. We want to get that average view duration higher. So that's in
Yeah.
terms of, so that's what we know is working well, and we're going to keep improving the video, the production side, the shorts, great. So brainstorming options on monetizing. So premium members for exclusive content on Substack. There's affiliate and then lead generation for coaching. So let's talk about Substack and the lead gen
Yep.
for now. What's the deal with Substack and like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a great option to have when you have Substack as where I can have my own private audience, right? People are giving their emails to me for to join this newsletter, to be part of this community. I feel like definitely in the next 18 months, this seems like a really valuable tool that we could leverage. Um, in terms of, what we would include for exclusive content or like behind a paywall, I'm not quite sure what else I can provide as value without spending, say, more time creating like extra content because I don't want to take away what I'm already giving, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Um, there has to be like something more. Yeah. So, what other ideas maybe perhaps do you have?
So you're saying through Substack, you can give a select few audience some extras that like they get in behind the scenes, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be the same with when we venture to, like, say, YouTube memberships or maybe even Patreon, like that kind of um that extra area where people can get more, from me.
Okay, so let's look at it. Well, we just discovered who your audience is, right? So we
Yep.
discovered your audience is, where are they? Was it 90 days? Okay, one second.
Yeah, 9 days.
So we know your audience lies from 18 to 24, 25 to 34 years old. So what's something is do you think on Substack that's your audience as well? What's your audience on Substack already now?
It's pretty low. There's only 23 subscribers, but and it's, mostly friends and family. So I don't yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
much almost everyone I know already. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure that information is going to help. That perhaps that if we tried to maximize that more, try and get more people in, and then see of the next 6, 12 months, okay, what is the demographic there? So perhaps that could be something down the line we can try and to implement.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm thinking we got to do now is exactly you just need way more people on the Substack newsletter.
Yep.
So we know we can potentially bring in a cold audience of these guys here, 18 to 24, 25 to 34. You were in that age, you relate to them. There's a reason why that is your predominant audience. As I said, we don't mind targeting women in that age as well. That's fine. But we know there's a reason why those people like you. So we got to now do get people as many people as you can on that newsletter.
Okay.
That's probably now where you are. So it's to get as many people on the newsletter as we can. Once we get as many people on the newsletter as we can, that's when we can start thinking about what do they value that we can add extra for premium. And you'll have more insights a little bit. So what's working well, those vlogs that you've been posting are doing well, and obviously the podcast. So in those vlogs, we would probably now need more calls to actions for the newsletter. So that could be something like, hey, we got to think of something even creative before, like when as a podcast, like an advertisement in every podcast episode. Hey guys,
Yep.
cuts in, hey, I know you're watching this video. Are you someone who's, and we're speaking now, I know I'm talking to 18 to 34 years of age, man, and now you're talking their language. Just link in the below,
Mm,
subscribe to my Substack, and I got something, a giveaway, da da da. So every now we can put in an advertisement, save in the Google Drive. Every episode, there is a small segment where we put in an advertisement. We'll create the folder. And then at least Tyrone, even now we're in the group, hey guys, my folder, da da da, and then we can now edit that advertisement. Maybe in the next episode, it can be in it could be in the folder for the next episode. We can edit it and then now put that advertisement in like a standard place. So now every episode that comes, we can just drop it in there.
Okay, yeah, that's actually really good. It's funny. A few days ago, I remade the newsletter trailer, but I think we have to do that again because exactly what you said. I think we need to um when that advertisement comes on, essentially like highlight their problem, like, and then and then using this newsletter as a way to bring those people who had that problem to come in and find like help them find who they are and everything. I think that's really good. Have that call to action.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's have a call to action. There's some guy who kind of reminds me of a little what you do. I don't know if you know this guy. What's
Oh yeah, Mike Thurston. Yeah,
like
yeah.
that? You knew? Okay. So let's go. I was watching this episode. The
And
so
me goes through your mind when
so trailer.
opportunities present yourself. What do you say yes or no to?
Well, I'm only saying yes if it.
Now,
But
before
trailer goes. So the trailer, we hook them in the best part, and then this is potentially a great ad spot we can put in. Again, past 30 seconds where they're watching.
we jump into today's episode, I just want to mention that this podcast is brought to you by me and everything that I've built to help you guys level up. If you want to transform your physique, build muscle, lose body fat, build strength, then you have the Thirst app. This has everything inside that you could possibly need to get yourself in shape, to hold yourself accountable as well. I also have the digital playbook, which is a step-by-step guide to help you guys build a following, monetize the following, and also build a strong personal brand. This is everything which I have done over the past nearly 10 years to allow myself to live a life of financial freedom and also geographical freedom. I can basically do whatever I want. Life is good. And I also have my newsletter, which has been revamped, where I'll share exclusive podcast insights, my raw thoughts on business, fitness, and much, much more. So if you're interested about any of those, check out the description. You'll find the links to all of them. Let's get cracking with the episode.
See, we can I can even send this to the editor for the next episode. Hey, create an advertisement like this. You can just kind of talk. So you see what he did there, and you see how he knows his
Mm,
audience. He knows his audience. He was like, hey guys, he's not talking to females. He knows exactly. I think his audience is in that same bracket as you. So he knows exactly like he just said, hey guys, da da da. You know, you can even call them out. Hey, if you're 18 to 34 years old and you're just something, and so he puts that, maybe puts two advertisements in the whole episode, done. So I think the most important priority for you now, before we can even talk about monetizing Substack, I guess, is let's get as many people there as we can. And then it also means you talking to people in person on social media. Keep even me, my goal, I have about 40 people in my newsletter, is to keep filling that in. And it's doing it in a way that's
okay.
where I'm not just getting people's emails. I'm actually like talking to them, hey, can I put you in my email? Which is a bit of a slower build, but yeah, that's the
Yeah.
goal, to get them in the email list.
Yeah, okay, that's a really good idea. I'll double down on that. The other ideas to help me get more people into Substack is actually, well, two ideas. One, actually using the Substack feature more. So actually just posting like just little bite-sized things that could be
Mhm.
just from the newsletter. So I'm not actually recreating content, but
Mhm.
get people to actually see that more often. So that's one way. And the other thing that I've come across more recently, which has actually been around for a while, but not utilized enough, is Pinterest. And I kind of learned this idea of affiliate marketing through Pinterest, and where like I can take like it's the same thing I would for LinkedIn. I would summarize what the LinkedIn post is,
Mhm.
and then put it into a Pinterest thing, and that way people can like go through there to see the full article. I feel like that would be a good way of attracting a different audience through Pinterest. I'd love to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. I think Pinterest is good. I'm probably not even the best expert in terms of on Pinterest. I've just now started to like I haven't used it as much at all. So I'm still even learning there, but I've used it before when I'm looking for, let's say if I want to do a hairstyle or something. So even me, I'm not even on Pinterest in terms of I'm not marketing there. It's something that I haven't really been strong on. So I'm actually intrigued. I can even learn more from you there. I think it's good to be everywhere, but yeah, if there's a community there that you can get, Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Post on Pinterest, then you have the podcast to lead people to, you have the images. So you could actually teach me more on that one and I can look into it more and see. But I think that's a good idea.
Awesome. Yeah. And then because LinkedIn also has its own newsletter function. I wonder if it's worth, yeah, just trying to, yeah, create like literally the same thing, but as a LinkedIn version. Just downside is LinkedIn owns like it's the subscribers, I guess you could say, but I still have Substack. I don't know if it's worth just creating that newsletter on LinkedIn or not.
So absolutely, um, absolutely correct. I would say definitely build a newsletter on LinkedIn. Why? LinkedIn also, when you send an email, it emails it to your subscribers and it also appears very high on the email list. So it like LinkedIn is so powerful. The SEO around LinkedIn is so powerful that it ranks really high in someone's email. It ranks
Okay.
really, really high in someone's email, and I would definitely start it. Even though LinkedIn owns it, yes, it gives you the data. You can look at the analytics. Yeah, I would definitely. It looks to you founders. I think definitely for you CEOs, it gives you exactly who your audience is. What are the analytics? I would definitely get a LinkedIn newsletter. Definitely, definitely, definitely.
And do you think I should use just have it exactly the same for my Substack, or should I just have like a completely different newsletter? So that way, like people are not gonna get double dipping. If that makes
I would
sense.
I would copy and paste the same thing that you're doing. What I would just do
Yep.
differently on subs on LinkedIn, LinkedIn you can add embedded videos. So you can actually when they're reading the newsletter, you can show them conversations and podcasts. It looks like so much more presentable. So what am I
Okay.
talking about? If you I have a newsletter and LinkedIn and it's and so like on my LinkedIn, I just copy and paste the same type of article on my newsletter. Maybe sometimes on my newsletter it's a little bit more personal, and I'll literally copy and paste it and put the same thing. But here, look, as they're reading through, they can look at the videos I put in there, and then I can, look at that. Boom, I can show
Mm,
results of clients that we're working with. So someone's reading this through LinkedIn and it's very attractive. They can see case studies. It looks neat. It looks good. I can't do this on my newsletter. It's a bit different, but I can do this on
okay.
LinkedIn, and then boom, look how much it looks. So I can lead them. I'm leading them all to my content, lead them all to my content so they can actually, I'm not just talking about it, I'm showing you physical examples and then they can watch. So
Okay.
this is a great way to monetize what you're doing, a newsletter, and it builds it around your audience. So yeah, I would definitely do this. And then remember, like again, I did this on purpose. How to actually grow your business. I copied this from Gary Vee's YouTube title. That's what we do. We just look at what's SEO really high. So LinkedIn is also SEO friendly. So now when people actually search this topic, now, hopefully in the future, I'll be popping up as the first put like you see, look what's coming. I copied this title from Gary Vee because it's getting the most traction, and you're allowed to do that. That's YouTube. You're allowed to just boom. Sometimes I might change certain words, but if whatever's the most SEO, I'll put it in. And so our goal is to show up here. See, you see, I've Googled it. I showed up on Google. So now if someone's Googling how to grow your social media, now they can find me. And now a cold person who's never heard of me before has Googled this problem because how can I grow my business? And they're struggling with it. It's a CEO, da, da. Even though I have 7 views on this video, someone can find me if they like this video. Yeah. So that's how the podcast now or my YouTube channel makes me money. I have low views, da, da, da. But now something that's searchable that someone's searching for, they Google it. Guess who comes up? I can show up with this, da, da, da. And then that person now knows who I am and knows my business. So that's kind of how we want to. So if I was doing LinkedIn, yes, and then just keep going for this. We want to be so SEO friendly articles that people searching for. Use that same article that you've used on Substack. You don't have to do extra work. Use that same one, but you can now add videos and make it more visually appealing.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes. Um, so yeah, that's what we would say is now the action steps would be to create an advertisement that we'll do for the newsletter. Mainly, yep, let's just get more people. So for the next episode, we can now have a new advertisement. I think we can show that advertisement from there. And show that we know who our audience is. I think that's the first step. And then I have another side. My goal now is like we have a podcast network of CEOs. So now I can go to sponsors like CMOs or sponsors. These people have big budgets, $100,000, $200,000, $10,000. I can come to them and say, hey, in one of our portfolios, we have a creator. He has a macro audience of, he's got 9,000 people in the last 90 days. This is who his audience is. This is his. They don't care how many followers you have. Some of these brands, they have big budgets just for brand awareness. There's some of them are like, all right, cool. You can put our brand in front of 9,000 people. Maybe it's a fitness brand. I can come to you and say, hey, Cameron, this company has a budget of $7,000 this quarter. And I've told them about your podcast. I've told them who your audience is. They're going to pay us $7,000 or $6,000 to be putting your maybe a brand sponsorship in one of your short videos that we do in that podcast episode, or they want you to do a selective video. This is how much they want to give you, or this is will be our cut. Here's 2 grand, here's 3 grand. So we want to come and be able to give that to you, and you're like, oh, sure, you know what I mean? And now you're not even paying for the service anymore. So now, as part of you being in our cohort, it's our goal because we're reaching over like my channel, all these different channels, over 300,000 views. We can now go to sponsors and companies with big budgets and do and now bring you sponsorship deals, whether that's 1,500 or in, and we edit it as well. So you wouldn't even have to do the editing. We'll just edit it. Or hey, maybe you have a script, this and this, let's put this in your short form content because shorts are doing really well. And now there's brands who have big budgets and they want to be in front of this audience. Even if you're a macro influencer, you don't have to have 200. You could have 1,000 lower followers or 9,000. You've had 3,000 in the last 28 days. There's people who want to pay
Mm.
for that. We can come and give you the brand deal. And if it aligns with you, you say, cool. And then so that's what we're working on now within the next 90 days. How can we come in and bring you a brand deal where you don't have to pay for this service anymore? It's paid for itself and you get paid on top of that.
Yep. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so that's one of the big things that we really want to work on and bring in. So we'll see how it goes and we'll just
Yeah, definitely. Love that.
yes, and then the next thing would just be to map out live events. I know we have one, so we're in June, July. So I think with you, we spoke with Michelle. What was the date we mapped out was July, right? This month?
Yes. So I have it in here somewhere. Um, July 28th.
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah.
And we'll do this live event about um do you have any corporate clients or anything who do you have any corporate clients? Yeah.
Yeah, I have one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say one corporate client.
Or we can do something like a live event on building your personal brand in the fitness industry. So maybe you could do something where fitness coaches or people like you, they're looking up to you. They want to be like you. They want to do what you're doing, having a podcast, vlogging your journey, documenting your experience. Maybe you've had questions like, bro, I heard you started a podcast. So I'm thinking maybe we can how to build a personal brand as a fitness CEO or as a fitness thing. And then you can talk about now in this live event how you started your YouTube journey and the importance of like getting yourself out there, getting clients. So now our audience for this live event could be fitness coaches, fitness, so you can get into position and maybe those people even filter into your Substack. Now fitness people, you can eventually start a mentorship community where fitness coaches are paying you so that they can, that's kind of, I'm just thinking our audience could be the B2B, like basically fitness coaches, people who want to be like you, start a
Yeah.
podcast, do what you're doing, and they can take advice from you. Those people can follow your journey on YouTube. They can follow your podcast. They will probably be quite an engaged audience for you because they relate to you the most. And then you can generate that community to you. That helps us as well because, who knows, we could manage. There's some fitness people who have the budgets and they want to start a podcast. And so now if they want to be like you, they can get that service done with us. they can learn from you. So that's what I'm thinking. We can go about this live event. We can target that community. So you get something out of it, we get something out of it, and we grow together. Yeah, let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really excellent idea. I think this would be, I would love to like double down on my personal brand, say the next 6, 12 months, and then perhaps we could do something like that where we talk more about personal branding in the fitness space. Um, Perhaps for the time being, yeah, maybe we could go with the, not necessarily corporate, but just like how like go more into the fitness side of things. 'Cause I think that's where I feel like I'm got like more experience in at the moment. And then that way we can go down there, like maybe something to do with how, like, I guess the importance of fitness and how like, you can put that into your everyday life sort of thing. For someone who is busy, doesn't have to necessarily be corporate, but someone who feel like they don't have time because they're working on their business or, um, yeah, whatever, maybe their parents, anything like that. I feel like I can, if I can, yeah, tie it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So we can go down instead of that route of we can go down in the route of the value of fitness for time poor CEOs or entrepreneurs and talk about, that balance. So yeah, we can do that instead.
Yeah,
And in that way, that's your expertise. You're more stronger on that field than personal branding. We can wait till you're bigger there. So yeah, that's your field, that's your expertise. And then now we can get a more corporate audience for people who can be paying you on a membership fee. They're remote, and now you have even yes more CEOs and entrepreneurs who are aware of you, who have big budgets, and can be paying and getting that value and that help from you.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a really good idea. Like yeah, the personal branding thing, I'd love to revisit that in the future.
Cool. Yep, let's do that. The value. So now we can target CEOs. We'll put it a month in advance. So July 28th, we're already heading into July. What we may do for as a backup, we may can even potentially just push it to the start of August or, just to give us a little bit of leeway. And then we can just invite as many people as possible. But I think it will be a topic that people would be actually interested in. And it's something different. It's not about personal. It's just something a bit different, like, oh, fitness. We can do a dope thumbnail and a interesting title that can intrigue like these CEOs or these be like, oh yeah, let me join this, let me hear what they have to say, because everyone needs health and that could actually be quite big. So I love it. Let's do that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And if you need more time, if you need to push it back, that's totally fine with me.
Cool. All right. I think we've got some added steps. You know now who's your audience. The content is doing well, so
Mm,
we keep at it with the episodes. Most important thing will be getting the action steps. The only thing you got to really kind of is like, all right, cool. Let me just create an advertisement for my next episode. I know who my audience is, and I know what the call to action is. I'll just kind of say it. If you develop the script, if you need help, let us know. But you can just da da da, and then we'll do all the editing, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So then we can do the editing. We'll keep that in a folder now, so each episode we can just drop it in there. And then at least it's for the new episode. We have a new advertisement. We know who our audience is. We now in the next 30 days, we want to get as many people we can be tracking. You can be, hey, I've got 5 people who joined, one person who joined, 3 people who joined, even word of mouth, talking to people, getting people who are interested, tell them to subscribe. And that also counts, not just social media. And then once we do that, we can then plan to see if we can monetize that. And then, yeah, how can we bring sponsors and bring offers to you? And then live event. And, that's the goal for the next 90 days.
fantastic. I've got I might send these to Tyrone. I've got like some podcasts that I like, and I want to see my podcast as like a combination of all of them. So I might send him those links to that so he gets a better idea on the vibe, um, what we can get for the podcast. Otherwise, did you have any other feedback on like how I can improve on my end in terms of the podcast?
No, to be honest, I think you've done really well from where you are now. Again, my most important thing is getting good audio. So as long as the audio, like I want the audio to be as good as possible. The camera the Rugari episode was good. It was good. It's hearable. We can hear it. It's good audio. We can fix things up through AI. That's probably the most important thing. Keep,
Yeah,
having good audio. Sometimes watch back through your episodes, certain things, maybe if you interrupt one of the guests or let them finish talking, just certain things that like just, just to have a feedback loop. But apart from that, I think you've been a great host, hosting people, great conversations, and yeah, again, as long as the audio is good, obviously the cameras are good, which are good, and also you what you do really well, which I really appreciate, is the brief. You're very, very specific, which saves a lot of time for the editors. So like we usually create briefs, but your briefs are the best. I get so excited when we get your brief. I'm like,
Oh,
yes.
that's good. Yeah.
It's so helpful, bro. Like you don't understand that. Like Tyrone, that's why he loves editing your content because he looked at that Regari brief and everything was there for him. It made him so much easier. Even the last one, my podcast journey, it was so easy for him because it speeds up the time because you can
Yeah.
create a brief, you know exactly instead of us having to go and do it, which we can do, but you make our process easier so we can get the episode in a quicker fashion way. So good job on that.
Awesome. All right, I'll keep that up. Yeah, I think for me, my self feedback is like definitely. I think just spend that extra time to double check everything. I'm so annoyed when I did Antonio's episode, the second camera. I don't know if you saw the footage, but yeah, it was in different formats, and it's a shame because the picture looked absolutely so good. I was really happy with it, but then just record in the wrong format. So,
Mm.
I'll yeah, interesting to see what Tyrone can do if he is able to save that second camera footage. Otherwise, the audio and the center camera is still, fine.
It's fine. Yeah. And that's for what episode is that for again?
The one I just did with Antonio. So
Antonio. Yeah.
I yeah,
Yeah.
I
One I
recorded
see.
that on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. To be honest, I didn't see that. So I'll have a look at it. Usually our goal is like once it gets in the folder, straight away, like Faith goes in just to double check, so it's just in case by the time it gets to Tyrone, something's been detected, whether if an audio is missing or something with the camera, we have
Yeah,
we can check that out. And any notes straight away, like if there's something, let us know in the group. Hey, for the Antonio episode, this, we can put it in WhatsApp. I
yeah,
like communication on WhatsApp, so we all have that. And yes, I love that. That's a great idea. Send the example of all the podcasts that you like, or you want them to be a mix of. Put in the group, hey guys, I have an idea. Look at this trailer, look at this, and then we can use that. The editors now have an easy job to, because now the next episode, maybe someone else might edit the episode. So we want all the systems say the same. So it's
yeah.
just plug and play. So if I'm an editor who's coming in, I know, boom. So yeah, send examples of the videos or podcasts you like, and we can now use inspiration from all of those, and yeah, keep updating us in the group.
Fantastic. Yeah, awesome. Some good stuff. Exciting times.
Hmm.
I've got my ideas of everything I want to be doing in the next like 6 months, not just in content, but with everything else. So take action on that.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's keep growing. And yeah, again, like I like that. How can we monetize this? How can this podcast? Imagine this podcast is bringing you $2,000 a month, like $4,000 a month, or $800 a month. Five. We have
Yeah,
again have affiliate, or now we can bring you a sponsorship deal just for brand awareness. A fitness company needs some brand awareness. They want a UK, US audience. How can we bring some use of money? You don't even have to pay for this service anymore, some months, or that could be quite powerful. Now it's bringing you revenue as well.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Cool. All right. Thanks so much for your time. Do you have any other questions or anything?
No, all good. All good.
Cool. All right. You let me know if you need anything. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Let's try and get this another one in the next 3 months. Have one every quarter. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, every quarter is better. So for this next episode, have you had a look to go through the whole episode as well?
With Regari,
Mhm.
yeah, I just watched that. Incredible, amazing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
uh that's one of my favorites so far.
Awesome, awesome. So we'll get it ready for Wednesday. We'll have Wednesday. It's
Yep,
uploaded, Substack. We'll put it on Spotify. So it's already. We're also putting it on our channels as well. We're seeing as well. So it's like these videos, these podcasts are hitting multiple. Like now, not only is it on yours, but it's reaching our audiences. So we can just keep spreading. The more people, some people in that audience in our channels may can see it. They can now your details are in below. Again, now for sponsors. I think that's so like I realized that we have so much power in who we have. So let's just share it. So double the eyes, the
yep,
better.
awesome. Well, thanks again for spending your nights on this call.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. You have a good day.
You're cool. Yeah, see ya.
Thanks. Bye.